Hey, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded for women and women entrepreneurs, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, and relationships with mind mastery and meditation tools and techniques so that you can live the life that you're proud of. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack here. Listen, I hope today I find you positively reinforcing your own life. And if you are not positive, then I set the intention today that this episode brings you a nugget of inspiration towards your transformation of becoming a positive being. Because that's what this is about. That's what this whole podcast is about you enjoying the life that you create. It is about you enjoying your life, enjoying your relationships and your deeper connections, enjoying your health and your vibrancy in your body and your physical experience, and then enjoying your wealth, right? Your career, your purpose, the reason why you're on this planet, and looking at every single aspect of your life and going, yeah, I lived it. This is what I'm after. This is my gift to you. Parts and pieces of my journey that has led me down this path of struggle and turmoil and holy moly and all of this and crawling through the mud to get to where I am today. That I can say my business is growing, my relationships are getting deeper, and my purpose is being fulfilled. And my health, I feel like energetically, I feel like I'm 25. And there's parts of my life and there's parts of my health that I have to focus on, but that's it. Things are really, really unlocking for me. And I want that same thing for you. Today, we're going to talk about your self-talk. We're going to talk about what you say to yourself. How do you encourage yourself? Or are you negative and discouraging? Because negative self-talk, let's just travel the road a second, how negative self-talk affects you. If you've already listened to my other podcasts, you know that we have been talking about how words and thoughts become physical emotions in your body and physical sensations, and then they become physical manifest, right? They become physical things to experience and to go through situations and circumstances. And this is you throwing what else you want to experience out in front of you. And if you were throwing dog poop, then you can't get mad that you're stepping in it. Stop throwing dog poop and you won't step in it anymore. I know it's easier said than done, but I have a couple of really powerful tools for you to use to start changing how you talk. So we talk negative. Let's just analyze this for a moment of what negative self-talk does to us. Watch how this unfolds. So you're talking negative, you're trying to succeed at something, you're trying to make something happen, you're trying to enjoy life in some area, and you're doing everything you can to free yourself up in this area, and things just keep going wrong. And we don't have enough wherewithal or even enough mental capacity, because I can't do it either, to go back in so much time and say, how was I talking about this thing? But all that negative self-talk, it affects me physically. Does it lift you up when you talk about how bad you are at something or how hard something is for you to obtain? Does it make you feel more empowered? Does it make you feel motivated or inspired? No, it doesn't, right? Negative does not create a positive. It can't. In the energy world, it can't. Negative is negative, positive is positive. The law of attraction says that it's like attracts like. So if I'm talking down about myself, the first thing is I get all these thoughts going, and then it spews out of my mouth. I'm either talking to somebody, I'm saying it out loud, I'm complaining at work, I'm complaining to my partner. I might even just be mumbling it to myself. And then it creates this physical sensation in my body, which creates what? An emotional response, which is my head hangs low, my shoulders fold over. I start to turn inward and I'm like self-attacking. I attack myself. That is like the tree that like cuts off its own branches. It doesn't make sense, does it? And why do we do it to ourselves? So now I have this physical response. And if we keep doing it, it creates a physical manifested thing. And either it's something that we experience out in the world, a situation, a circumstance that we want to feel more of that, or it creates a physical block in our body. Yesterday, we talked about pain, and we talked about how you can help and heal your body and alleviate pain and be willing to release that stuck energy that is causing pain in your body. Picture it as when you see pain, and the only reason I say see is because you can go in there and you can see it, and you see the stuck energy. It's black, it's gooky, it's thick, it's heavy, right? And you can see it sitting in there. And all you have to do is be willing to let it go. Be willing to release it. I am willing to release this pain from my body. And if you let it go, free flowing energy can start to happen in that section of your body. It doesn't matter where the pain is, but being able, you have to be willing, you have to let it go. And this stuck energy is something negative. And we have to let it go so our bodies can heal and our physical experience can get to a place of joy and health and love, because that's what we ultimately want to achieve. And that's all that we ever want to have on this planet is happiness. And the areas that we complain the most about, health, wealth, relationships, if we continue to complain and we continue to perpetuate the negative self-talk, we're continuing to walk a path full of dog poop. And nobody likes stepping in dog poop. It's like one of the most disgusting things in the world. But why do we keep doing it? So I have 3 very powerful tools to help you today to help alleviate, to start turning it around and becoming more positive. Because as you are thinking negative, it creates depression, it creates anger, it creates frustration, it creates anxiety, worry, doubt, and all of those things have a place in the body that it shows up. Your neck, your shoulder, your low back, your knees, your ankles. It depends on what you're afraid of. It depends on why you're acting like that and why you're saying those things. And so if you have physical pain in the body, all you have to do is tell me and I'll tell you what you're going through. I can completely analyze where you're hurting and where your fears are and what negative emotion you are feeling the most. Okay, here are my very powerful tools. And I'm telling you from experience, and you've already heard me say, I had an entire life of every single day being mad about something, being frustrated about something. Do I still experience that? Yes, because I have a business that I'm trying to run as well as a family to spend time with. And so do I choke the hose sometimes? Yes. But do I have to get out of my own way so I can see the path and I can start taking those necessary steps to where I want to go? Yes. And here's the tools. The very first one, you have to realize that the opposite of negative is not positive. Well, it is in the electrical term, negative and positive, but the opposite of negative is gratitude. Because when we are talking negative, usually we are talking about something that we don't have. We don't have peace. We don't have money. I don't have love. We don't have a car that runs. We don't have a house that's big enough. I don't have a job that I love, right? We're talking about lack. Then when you flip it on the other side, the ways to allow the flow is to be thinking about things that you have that you're grateful for. Now, I also did a podcast about gratitude, and we talked about how we can add more into our life, more of whatever it is that we're grateful for. If you have $1 to your name, are you complaining about what you don't have, or are you showing gratitude for that dollar? If you're showing gratitude for that dollar, tomorrow you will have 2. I promise you. I promise you, because gratitude is the top of the vibrational scale. More so than love is gratitude. Why do you think we teach our kids to say thank you? We don't even know what we're doing, but our spirit is saying, oh yeah, teach your kids please and thank you. But it's all about gratitude. So when we're upset about something and we're complaining about something, is try to catch yourself and say, what am I grateful for in this moment? What am I grateful for in this moment? I'm complaining about my job. I'm complaining about lack of communication. I'm complaining about too much work, not enough money, not enough hours. The insurance is expensive, whatever. Then you say, okay, but instead, I am grateful for the amount of money that I do have, because it could be worse. You could have no job. You could be homeless. You could be on the street. And if you're living in Michigan, it's freaking cold right now. Right? So get your journal. If you don't have a journal while you're listening to these podcasts, I would suggest getting a journal, because hopefully what I have in setting my intention is that you are getting a nugget from this podcast, from today's episode. And if you think you're going to remember those things, you're not. And the only reason is because we have a limited amount of mental capacity in our brain, and we can only hold so many things in there before we start to feel overwhelmed. And then we have to write things down. And it's okay. You ever watch Harry Potter? And in the Half-Blood Prince, they have a pensieve, and there's Dumbledore using his wand to pull out his memories and put them in the pensieve. Well, that's what this is about. Journaling, writing things down, getting them out of your head. And I've got some really cool tools. Like, I love these tools that we're using today. You can focus on what's wrong. You can focus on what's missing, or you can focus on what's right. And you can focus on what you have. And it's all about changing your attention. So I'm asking you, instead of focusing on the things that you lack, is to focus on the things that you have. Do you have both hands? Do you have a sense of smell? Do you have hair on your head? Do you have muscles? Do you have a nice bed to sleep in? Do you have a car that runs? Do you have a job that you can go to? Do you have kids that you love? Do you have a cat that you love? Do you have a favorite book? Do you have a favorite movie? Do you have a favorite food? Anything to take your attention away from that thing that hurts you so much, and look over here. So picture this. There's a person in a room, and it's a room that is filled with money and food and love and friendship and everything that you can imagine. Great movies, great chocolate, freaking beautiful house, beautiful sunshiny day. Everything is over here. Okay. On this one side of the room. Everything you could ever want, the car, the job, the friends, the food, everything, okay? And this person is standing on the opposite side of the room, staring at the wall. Can you picture this? Big room, half of it is full of all these wonderful, beautiful things, and the other half doesn't have anything in it. And here's this person that is facing the wall, and they're complaining about how empty this room is. It seems dumb, doesn't it? It seems idiotic. You're like, dude, turn around. Everything you want is right there. Turn around. You're screaming at him. Turn around. And I'm telling you right now, turn around. Turn around. Stop staring at the wall. Stop complaining about what is not there. And turn around and be grateful for what is there. Turn around. So getting out your journal, writing at the top or on the front of your journal. Like, I love getting those, the paper journals that have like a really simple, plain cover, and write this whole journal is going to be dedicated to gratitude. And so on the cover, I'm going to write my whole gratitude, things I'm grateful for, or my gratitude journal, or I'm grateful for blank because blank. Okay. Turn to page 1 and say, this is my commitment to myself. I am so, and don't write this in the journal, but I want change. I want transformation. I have support because I have somebody who is doing this podcast who has my back. And she's got my back. She's my friend. She's my mentor. She's my teacher. And she's going to hold me accountable, and she's going to help me change because I want change that bad. And I'm going to do this because she believes in me. Because she is sending me healing and love and abundance every day through my podcast while I'm standing in my office and I'm waving my arms around as I'm telling this podcast. I am thinking of you. And I'm sharing this message with you from the goodness of my heart that says, please send her love, send her healing, send her abundance, send her alignment so she can feel the joy through my voice. That's what I'm doing for you right now. So you can receive that. I am open to receiving her love, her healing, her friendship, her guidance, her abundance, because I'm sending it to you. You just have to be open to receiving it. So you get your journal out and you say, I am committed that I'm going to journal every single day for 365 days because I want my life to transform. And the only way that it's going to do that is if I'm grateful. And this is my gratitude journal. And this is my commitment to me because I deserve joy. and I deserve love, and I deserve abundance. Say that with me. First one, I deserve joy. Say that. I deserve joy. Now love. I deserve love. Now abundance. I deserve abundance. Okay? You deserve it. And the only path is for you in that room to turn around. Turn around. And this is the way to do it. So you're going to focus on the things you're grateful for. Listen, do not tell me that you do not have time, because you do have time. Because what if on the other side of this is your money? What if on the other side of this is the love of your life? What if on the other side of this is the perfect job that has the perfect income that is perfect for you? What do you got to lose? And listen, you can write 3 things down. This is your journal. Do what you want. If you love to write, then write. You can do there's an audio journal too I came across. I didn't use it because I like to see my stuff. I use color pencils and I draw pictures, and I'm very visual. So I like pictures when I do meditations and guided visual exercises. I like journal, but I draw it all in pictures. And so I like to draw, and I like to use words, and I like to see it on paper. But if you don't want a journal, then please get an audio journal. And it's literally by date, and you record. I've seen it in the App Store. I'd love to tell you what the name of it is, but I can't. But you can journal it. You can look it up in your App Store, and then you could literally verbalize, and then you'd go back and listen to it. But I do love the manual technique of writing it down, and then visually seeing it, and then going back and reading it. So I think that is probably the most powerful. So you're going to write, like, what am I grateful for as far as my physical body goes? What am I grateful for as far as all of my things in my life? And what am I grateful for as far as the people in my life? And if you have $1.27 in your bank account, write that down. I am grateful that I have $1.27 in my bank account, because it could be worse. You could have negative 400,000 in your bank account, right? It would be worse. Okay. So being grateful, I'm going to go from negative self-talk to positive self-talk, and it just feels better. It just feels better to be positive. It just feels better to be grateful. And everybody everywhere can be grateful, no matter where you are and how you are on this planet and what slump you got yourself into. You can always find something to be grateful for. Okay, so that's one. Now that's what I'm going to call light engagement. If you're into this podcast and you're hearing what I'm saying, and you're saying, and you know what, Jen believes in me, and I'm just going to do what she asked, because I truly believe that she knows. She's been through this. She's gone through the mud for me. And I want to kind of do that back, because I feel like I could have the love that she's talking about now. I feel like I could have the aligned business that she's talking about. I want that path to open up in my life. And so I'm going to do it. And I promise you, your life will turn around, but you have to make the commitment for 365 days from now until the end of the year. And then some, because it's, I don't know, today's the 17th or something, 16th or 17th, I guess. Or the 18th, because I'm recording this. Okay, now to go a little bit deeper in your engagement, like, how are you engaging in this podcast? Are you just listening to it on your way in and getting a little inspiration? That's okay. That's light engagement. Are you taking notes and writing things down and starting to take some steps? That's a medium engagement, or middle engagement, right? To go really deep, I have 2 more techniques for you. This will change your life in a matter of, like, I'm not kidding, it's like days. I do this gratitude journal, and I get a call on the phone to do a $5,000 speaking gig. I do a gratitude journal, and I get a chance to be a mentee to a business coach who has like a multi-million-dollar business and is willing to coach me. Okay? And for the perfect price. Okay? So here it is. You get a gratitude box. And you get this box. I don't care what the box looks like. It could be an old can for all I care. It could be a jar. It could be an old cigar box. It doesn't matter. Get something that you can be like in love with. So you decorate it. It's cool. It could have a lock and key on it. It could have a combination lock. It could be an old hot chocolate bin, a can. I don't care. Coffee can. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. But get something that you love and that you're committed to, like, creating it and putting some energy into it, because it's going to be your gratitude box. Then you're going to get a notepad, small notepad, or some scrap paper. Like I always go and get like a colored ream of paper. And I think this year I'm doing pink and green. And so I grab 20 sheets and I cut them into probably, I don't know, 8 squares per sheet. And so they're not very big. They're just a little bit bigger than a business card. You don't want them any bigger than that. A little bit bigger than a business card. And what I do is, and I throw a pen in there, my favorite pen. Throw in whatever color pen you want to put in there. You want to enjoy this box, okay? And your commitment is to do something in that box every single day. So you take out a piece of paper, one of the scrap pieces of paper, and you write on there, today I'm grateful, that Amy and I we found a new trail today and it was absolutely gorgeous. The sun was shining and the snow was setting on the tree branches. So the trees were just beautiful. We took the dogs. It was fantastic. There was not a lot of people. It was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. And I always write the words thank you on there. Okay. And then I'll write the month and the year, or you could write the day in the year. It doesn't matter. So today I would write January 2021, fold that up into 4s, fold it and then fold it again and throw it in the box, put the pen back in there, put the paper back in there, close it up. Tomorrow I do the same thing. How long does that take me to do? 39 seconds? What does this do when you do this? This is a deeper engagement to this program and to this podcast today. What does that do? It starts to train my brain to start looking for things that I can be grateful for, because I know that tonight I'm going to write something on that and I'm going to put it in that box. So what does that train me to do? Over the course of a few days, you're going to start looking for things to write in that box. And pretty soon you'll be out and about shopping. Like yesterday, Amy and I we're like giggling teenagers. We were laughing so hard. I wish I could tell you what it was, because it was really, really freaking funny. And it was in the morning. And I remember saying, I'm going to write this and I'm going to put this in my gratitude box. And she's like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. And so later that day, right, you get a piece of paper and you put it in there and you get excited to put something in there, because here's what's going to happen. At the end of the year, I start mine at New Year's. We're pretty darn close to New Year's. Maybe you could think of a few and add some extras. You're going to read them on New Year's Eve to be grateful for the year. And it's all of these parts of your timeline to remember. And it is the most fun thing to do at the end of the year. On New Year's, I get this box out. It's completely full. It's got over 300 little pieces of paper in there that are full of things that over the year I've been grateful for. And I pull it out and I'm like, oh yeah, homeschooling the boys and deepening my connection. And that time that we went on this new hike with the boys and it was so great. Remember that fox we saw? And you just throughout, as you're watching the shows on the New York Times Square and you're watching, what's his name? Ryan Seacrest, and you're opening and you're like, oh my gosh, you guys, remember we did that? And remember this? And oh, honey, you remember this? And you just get to relive the year, but look it's a place of gratitude. It's a place of positivity, and it's a fantastic way to end the year. And I've been doing it this is my 3rd year now, and it is absolutely amazing. And look at what I'm doing. I dedicated 365 days. It's going to be 376 by the time I'm done, because I started early. 365 days of putting out a podcast special for you, because I'm here for you. And it's time for me to start sharing my journey in hopes to lessen your struggle, to give you a life to be proud of, to help you to give a life that you're proud to live. And that's my gift to you. Okay. And that's what the end of my year was like, reading all of these and be like, oh my God, this was so awesome. What a great year we had. Did we have quarantine? Yes. Did we have a sweeping deadly disease? Yes. But there's 300 different items in here that were so amazing that happened because of quarantine. We deepened our relationship with our boys. I got to have my own little classroom. I'm like such a teacher, and it was so great. I got to buy some grade level books for them and like build their vocabulary and do science experiments. And we had home ec and teaching them how to cook and how to clean. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So many things to be grateful for. Okay. So that is a very powerful tool. That right there, you guys, will change your life. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. Here's the 3rd one. This is the deepest engagement. I want you to pay attention to the words you're using when you're talking to yourself. Now that I've made you aware of this, now that I have put this into your awareness, now it's time for you to be open. I'm open to looking at what I might be saying to myself that might be negative. You could do positive and negative, because if it's positive, I want you to write that down in your gratitude. I gave myself a compliment today. You know, I got out, I got dressed, I took a shower, I did my hair, I did whatever, and I feel amazing. I look in the mirror and I'm like, dang, you're hot. Write that down. I gave myself a compliment today. Thank you for my beauty. Thank you for that I look good. Thank you for my self-appreciation. Okay? So any successes you're going to be writing down in your journal, and you're going to be adding to your gratitude box. And this one is called a trigger box. When you are noticing the crappy thing you just said to yourself, I want you to get out. It's just like a gratitude box, except it's called your trigger box. It's a different box, different color paper, different pen. And I use a red pen for these, and I usually use white paper. I don't know why. It's just what I've done. I've done it a couple different times now. I think this is my second year for the trigger box. But what I can do now is when I say, you know, like I was feeling really down this weekend. I'm trying to build this thing behind the scenes so I can launch my course that's coming out, that's going to be special for you guys, and teaching you these tools, going deeper and deeper and deeper into these tools. And I'm trying to do all this, the technology behind the scenes, and it's so frustrating, and it makes me feel so stupid because I can't just figure it out. I can't see it. My brain it's hard. It's really hard for me. So I'm getting really down on myself. So I would take out that trigger box and I would say, I think I'm so stupid as far as technology goes. And I would fold that up and I would put it in there. I'd put it in the box. And I would say something like, I'm never going to be successful. Fold it up, put it in the box. I hate that this is taking me so long. Fold it up, put it in the box. Okay? Now, you literally fold it up, put it in the box. Don't get it out. Don't talk about it. Don't do anything. Once you put it away, you have to stop talking about it. That's the deeper engagement with this part, with this podcast. That's the deeper part. So you have to promise me that you're not going to continue to pull it out or put another one in that says the same thing. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put it in there. You're going to put it in the box. You're going to let it go. I am willing, as you're putting it in the box, I am willing to release this negativity from my life. I am willing to release this negative phrase from my life. And a lot of times you think, well, you know what? Some of the simpler things that are negative that we said, like, oh my God, you're such a terrible cook. Put it in the box. Oh my God, you suck at this. Put it in the box. Okay? Then later, when you are feeling good, I want you to get it out of the box. I want you to get it out of the box, and I want you to open it, and I want you to read it. And I want you to say, if this weren't true, what would be true for me? And remember, we're not looking for the actual opposite. We're looking for a replacement. If instead of me saying, I'm never going to be successful, I'm going to say, I'm better than I was yesterday. And that is a success. I'm so sick and tired of blank blank. I'm getting better and better. I'm open to abundance. I'm allowing love into my life. I am willing to allow love to flow freely into my life. And then you read that and you flip it over to the negative side, and it says, I'm never going to be successful. And then you flip it back over and you say, I am allowing abundance into my life. And you flip it back over and you read the negative. It says, I am not going to be successful, or it's taken too freaking long, or why am I not there yet? Whatever is written on that page, you flip it over and you have the new belief on the other side, and you say, I am allowing abundance. I'm allowing love. I'm allowing health. And then what? You could throw it away. You could write the new process, the new belief into your journal and promise that you read that. You could add it to an intention card and you could attach it to your journal. Before I do a podcast, I have a really, really pretty leather bound journal, and it has the leather strap that goes around it that closes it, like a closure that wraps around. I think it wraps around twice, and then I'd wrap it around itself in the back, and it's got a stamped, it's a woman, but she's a tree. And it's about me being grounded, which a lot of times my limiting belief, and I say this because I'm an entrepreneur and technology is hard for me and success takes a long time, and I go through all this journey. And I used to say, and it wasn't very long ago, it's a belief that is in there and I have to work on it too, is that I don't belong here. that it's hard for me and I don't understand things. And I'm like, I don't belong here. And I have to ground myself to Mother Earth and say, I have a purpose to deliver this inspirational, transformational information to you. So I have to be here because I'm here for you. I'm downstairs in my cold basement in my office wearing my podcast hat, and I'm here because you're listening. Because when I go back in behind the scenes and I see all the numbers of all my 26 podcasts and I see that those numbers are rising, it was at 2 and it's at 7 and it's at 14. People are listening. That's you. I'm here for you. I am willing to allow abundance into my life. And you could put it on the mirror. You can be creative. So I'm going to ask you, in probably every single podcast going forward, I want to build a community of women. You guys that are listening, please come over to the Facebook group. I'd love to hear what you're doing. I'd love to hear how this podcast is affecting you. What engagement level have you committed to? Are you just listening to it for entertainment? That's okay. Because it's going to fall on you whatever you need in this moment of time and in your life. And I'm completely okay with that. I accept that. Are you going a little bit lighter engagement and kind of taking those tools and playing with them and see how they feel? Are you going in a deeper engagement and writing things down and starting your gratitude box and starting your trigger box? Because if you truly want transformation, you're going to get it. And you're going to get it with those two tools. Because I tell you, those things are the most powerful tools that I have used that have gotten me from the depths of my barrel with the lid nailed shut to standing out in this field, in the sunshine, sharing my life journey with you. Thanks for listening, and if you liked this episode, please take the time to like and share. Also, please visit me on my other social media pages. I'm on Instagram, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I'm on Facebook, where we have this community titled Life Mastery Decoded, and it's a community of women and women entrepreneurs where we come together to support one another in sharing our successes and struggles. You can also check out my YouTube channel, where I share my teachings and my personal journey, and it's simply titled Jen Mack, Jenmac. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you.